So let's give out some awards, some game one awards, Dustin. So what was your offensive play of the game versus Murray State?
I like two of them that really stuck out to me. One was from you, Cos Brooks.
Thank you.
Your 23-yard run right before half. It was just a little simple play to the right. And he saw the lanes so well and then cut back, and no one ever touched him for 23 yards.
Yeah.
Super good, efficient run there.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns in the first half.
The whole game was like he turned on the Jets a lot. Like he showed his speed and vision very well in this game. Well, what'd you say about him?
He had 3 touchdowns in the first half. So
yeah, I mean his final line was 6 for 50 with 3 touchdowns and 2 catches. Like that's a really good day.
And the other,
my other one was Sir Roderick Thompson, his 30-yard pass reception for a touchdown. Just a little swing pass for like 2 yards.
Yeah.
And he spin moves, bounces off a dude, and then he turned on the Jets to get in. Like it didn't even look like anything. And then whoa, he's gone. He's in.
Yeah, sometimes you forget how fast Sir Roderick is, and then like he broke that tackle and boom.
Rewatching the game, kind of writing down notes. He had the spin move working real well in this game.
Oh yeah. He had 2 nice runs because of a spin move. So shout out to him.
That one,
Interesting thing here was, we talked a lot about who's going to dominate the carries, or is it going to be pretty similar? Like their stats, you had Taj had 6 carries for 50 yards, Sir Roderick 7 for 48. So they're just like neck and neck with each other. My offensive play of the game, I'm going to go to the second touchdown pass from Donovan Smith. His first one was broken coverage. The cornerback just fell. But that second touchdown pass, which is second pass of the game to Loic Fungi, was into traffic. I think there was 2 DBs right there, but he had Loic on the money. Fungi made a nice catch, touchdown right there, and you just kind of knew this offense was rolling at that point. So I wanted to shout out that pass. My runner-up was definitely that flea flicker to start the game, because that was just what a way to start the game. Got the crowd like real into it already. Just a ballsy call, especially when it was in your own end zone. So that's my runner-up for that.
One more offensive stat that I really loved and was impressed with is we had 14 guys with receptions in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaron Bradley led with 6, and he had 108, and Fungi had 110. So for 2 of your guys that you were hoping would break out but weren't sure of yet, man, they had 2 great games.
Yeah, they were very impressive, and a guy that we thought was going to dominate a lot of the catches, and Miles Price only had 3 or something like that.
Which 3 for 39, which I think is a good thing that he didn't have to shoulder the load like Ezukama had to last year in some games. And now, doing scouting work for Houston and NC State, now you got to account for Bradley and Fungi a little more than you thought.
Yeah. I agree with that. So now let's turn to the defensive side of the game. I'll start with mine. My defensive play of the game was a sack by Krishawn Merriweather and Tyree Wilson. They came up with a sack on 3rd and goal to force the field goal. I just thought this was a key play because, Murray State had a penalty that helped them get down the field. It was your first defensive possession in the red zone this season, and you were able to hold up there, and these 2 guys that you trust and put a lot of faith in this on this defense came up with a big play to stop their momentum, force the field goal there, save the touchdown. So that's my defensive play of the game. Dustin, what about yours?
Mine was in the first quarter, another sack. I believe it was by Tony Bradford. He just came up the middle, and DJ Williams was about to throw the ball, and I don't know how he held on to it because Bradford smothered him. And it was a pretty impressive just hit and smothering, and how fast it was that he got through the line and up the middle. And I mean, the quarterback has his arm up and gets hit like across the head and body and arm. I don't know how he held on to it, but it's pretty nice and impressive. And that led to a punt, little punt team action. So love that for Bradford.
Yeah. Had a lot of punt team action, which was fun. And so now we turn it over to Texas Tech gets Win Club Red Open. So we're still keeping that going, even though we're not really doing the Club Red episodes anymore because it's all Texas Tech now. But Dustin, who is your Club Red offensive VIP for week 1?
See what you have, and I'm going to go the other way then. I'm going to give it to you Tosh Brooks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great game on the ground, very efficient. Like I mentioned, 6 rushes for 50 yards, 3 tuds, and 2 catches. Very nice, efficient game.
Yeah.
Very balanced, good running game overall by us.
Yeah, when half your carries go for touchdowns, that's pretty solid.
Good. Yeah.
Pretty solid. I am going to go with one of those young receivers in Loic Fungi who came in and had 4 receptions for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you could give that to Jerand Bradley too.
Sure.
This was a group that we talked about that has a lot of potential, but a lot of youth in it and haven't really proven themselves. And they came out there and they were big targets in this first game for you and looked like they've been seasoned vets. Like they were out there making all sorts of plays, getting wide open. And so I was really impressed by them in their week 1 performance. And like we've talked about, that's going to help Miles Price a lot. And that's going to help him get open when you have to focus on these guys on the outside. So shout out to them for their week 1 performance. Dustin, the defensive side of the ball, who you got as your defensive Club Red VIP?
Yeah, looking at the script, by the way, I love your pick coming up. Tyree Wilson, Christian Merriweather, they had great games, did their jobs very well. But I'm going to give mine to my defense play of the game guy, Tony Bradford.
All right.
He had 2 solo tackles, 3 total, 1 sack, 1.5 for a loss, had that one big one I mentioned.
Right.
And he just held his own in the middle and kept disrupting things. And we mentioned, talking with Keenan a couple weeks ago, that, he's been here a while. He's a very veteran, experienced dude, and he kind of showed out and let everybody else do their jobs. And that helps out guys like Tyree Wilson and Bleedy and everybody else in that line when you kind of step up and start doing some things. So good for him. Great game. Can't wait to see more of that from Bradford.
Yeah, I'm staying on the defensive line as well, going with Philip Bleedy. One of our backup defensive tackles came in. He had 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, led the team with 2 sacks, solo sacks. So real impressive performance from him. Just one of those guys we talked about. We have 2 veteran guys up front. But can you rely on some of these other guys to come in and make plays? And he had a really good week 1 that makes you feel pretty confident about what he's going to bring to the table and add to the defensive line and be able to spell Tony Bradford and these guys. So shout out to him on his week 1 performance and those 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss. Pretty impressive for him.